Mostly I just stayed inside. I've kind of forgotten how to do it. It's just not enough darkness for me. Hi, I'm Sock Marionette, doing business as a bargain counter argument. I'm a middle-aged lady in a tiara talking about books and related topics. Actually, I have not been a middle-aged lady in a tiara talking about books in a pre-recorded video for several weeks. The last time I posted a pre-recorded video was July 31st, and I had recorded it even earlier. And as I'm recording this, it is September 18th. So I kind of fell off of a cliff energy-wise because of summer. I don't deal well with summer. I don't deal well with the humidity. I don't deal well with extended daylight. It's not great. And so I decided to not worry about recording videos because it was just too much to do. One of the things about getting back to it, now that I have my energy levels are kind of getting higher as the days get shorter and a little less hot and humid, the question is always, when you take a break like that for several weeks from anything, it's always like, how do I get back into it? What do I do? And I have a lot of video ideas and books I can talk about and other kinds of books and reading and collecting and so on. However, I just didn't know quite where I was going to start. And then along came a book tag. It is the One Last Splash End of Summer 2025 tag, which you should see in my video title. And this was originated by Dark Roots Creations. That's Lee. Her channel is Dark Roots Creations. And she wants people to do this because that's the fun of tags, is getting people to do it. And she tagged a couple of people. One of them was Stormy, and Storm Reads, and Stormy tagged Lisa, the lost coffee mug, and Lisa tagged me. But even the first I saw it was Lisa's video, because I kind of missed Stormy's and Lee's, and I was watching it, I was thinking, oh, this will be the perfect re-entry because I can use these tags to kind of talk about what my summer was like and why I haven't been recording new content or new pre-recorded content. And at the end of the video, Lisa actually did tag me specifically, as well as the more general, if you see this video and you'd like to do these tags, please do, which is, always nice to have an open floor for that kind of thing. So I am going to do this. This is, like I said, it is the One Last Splash End of Summer 2025 tag, and we have some questions to answer, most of which are actually not particularly bookish. But, books are kind of my thing, so it'll probably come back to books sooner or later. Sooner. Okay, so the first question is, what was the highlight of your summer? Well, like I said, for me, summer's a bummer. So I would say the highlight was being able to keep doing my midweek motivation live streams. These are sprinting streams, and one of the things I started doing with midweek motivation is reading an entire book during the sprints. And during the chatty part, I've been talking about how I'm enjoying it and what the plot developments are and stuff like that. So I've been doing category romances because I can get those done in like a 2.5, 3 hour stream. That was kind of the highlight, was still doing the midweek motivation. Really, really was happy that I was able to maintain midweek motivation, because knowing that for 2 or 3 hours every Wednesday, I'd be able to hang out with people who had a lot in common with me and a lot that they don't have in common with me. That was kind of the highlight of my summer. And there were some other things that were good. I liked going to library sales. There are a lot of them in the summer. So that was something I was able to maintain. It's a different kind of energy, so I was able to do that. So I found a lot of good stuff. So those were some highlights of the summer. Mostly I just stayed inside as much as possible. The next question. Favorite summer snack or drink you couldn't get enough of? Well, I was drinking a lot of water because I was very hot and dehydrated all the time. So I decided to make it more entertaining for myself by adding flavoring to the water. Peach. So I ended up, and you can find these at Dollar Tree or Dollar General or the supermarket, but I ended up ordering a whole bunch of them online. I ordered this entire box. And this is Weiler's is the name of the brand. And they had these boxes that each had 10 little single packets that serve 20 ounces or more of water. I was using a little bit more than 20 ounces because I find that they're very sweet. And I have them This box originally had, I think, 20 or 25 of these boxes, and I still have some I haven't opened yet, and I have some that are downstairs and that have been opened, and a whole bunch that I've already finished. And then I also got some Flavor Aid ones, and they came in this box that's kind of falling apart. So since I have extra space in this box, I threw them in there. And of those, those were 5 flavors, and my favorite, I have one left, and that was cucumber limeade, but they were all good. And so that's why I've been drinking those just like constantly. Number 3, beach day or pool day. Which one ruled your summer? Well, I tried to avoid going out. Generally speaking, I didn't really make it to the beach or the pool. Usually if I go to the beach, my favorite is going to a lake beach. And there's one just like maybe a mile from my house. But I didn't go because it's just, you go out there and you're in the sun and there's usually not a whole lot of shade. That's why I prefer a lake beach to the ocean beach, because there's more shade when you're at a lake beach. You can get to the shade more easily. And the picnic tables are usually in the shade. As the beach, it's a bit more of a hike to get to the shade. So, but I didn't do either one this summer. Question 4 is the best book you enjoyed this summer. And I would say it was probably the All Souls trilogy by Harley LaRue. Very dark romance, very kinky, very spicy. If you know, you know, I guess. And it was just kind of some real escapism. Question 5 is which song will always remind you of summer? And this is going back a long time. I think when I was a little girl, we belonged to this club that was kind of like, it had a pool, it had tennis, but we didn't play tennis, but it had a pool and social events and stuff like that. It was kind of fun. And I remember hearing the song Dreams by Fleetwood Mac one summer. We heard that a lot, and Hotel California by Eagles a lot. And those always remind me of summer now. And I think more recently, this summer was definitely, it's a year behind, but definitely I heard Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter a lot. And I know it came out last year, but it's still getting heavy rotation. Okay, next up is question 6, which is, did you have a summer bucket list? What did you check off? Not really. I mean, I did want to get to the beach. I wanted to get to a lake beach, maybe even the ocean beach, but I didn't do those things. And really my goal was to just get through it as best I could. Okay, one thing that's definitely true of not having recorded video in so long is that I've kind of forgotten how to do it. Like, I spent a lot of time setting up my lighting. And the other thing is, oh yes, I'm going to have to stop and transfer files in the middle of the video because I'm using my phone and it doesn't have huge amounts of storage on it. Number 7, a moment that made you feel completely carefree. I think it was just like the different times that I was driving to library sales and my air conditioner was just blasting in my face and I was listening to the radio, singing along with it in a lot of cases, and just having a good time doing that. Because I do enjoy driving and I enjoy road trips, so that was fun. That would be probably when I would feel most carefree. Number 9, did you travel or have a staycation? Where did you go or wish you had gone? Definitely had a staycation. I don't really like to travel in the summer, mostly because, again, I don't feel good. It's also, that's when it's most crowded for the most part. So usually, I mean, I haven't really gone on much of an overnight since before the pandemic. And when we travel, it's just me and my mom usually travel. And when we travel, we prefer to do it in the spring or the fall. When the weather's a little bit nicer and there aren't as many people around, because, you know, we are not tied to the school schedules. So we would just let the people who need to travel in the summer do it, and then we'll enjoy it other times of the year. Having said that, if I could have gone anywhere, I would have liked to have gone to New Zealand. I just always wanted to go to New Zealand. And of course, when we're having summer, they're having winter. Question 10 is, what are you going to miss most about summer? Not really much of anything. Number 11 is, what are you most looking forward to about fall? And I would say I like it that the days are getting shorter, because I know a lot of people really don't deal well with that, have seasonal affective disorder. But I really have, I guess, like opposite seasonal affective disorder, too much sunlight, too much heat, too much humidity. But having like 9 or 10 hours only of dark, it's just not enough darkness for me. I really like the dark. I do like the sun. I'm not like one of these people who just absolutely can't abide being in the sun. I do like being in the sun, and I do like going out in the weather and everything. It's just that I don't need it to be 14 hours of that. It's just not necessary. Number 12 is tag 3 YouTubers with this. So I would like to tag Kristen of the Never Ending TBR in Kristen's Corner, Violet of Violet Cat, and I think I'll just throw it open to anybody else who wants to do it, because that's the spirit of tagging as far as I know. Another thing about it, not having done this in a while, is like I've totally forgotten how to do a sign off. So if you have enjoyed this video, or you think you might like other of my videos, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, or don't. I am not the boss of you. And I hope you have a good day or night.